Hey everyone, Dave here. Welcome to a new Raid Shadow Legends video. Today the Armanz fusion has officially started and I wanted to combine for you all of the tips from different videos of how to tackle the fusion plan and all of that good stuff. Before we start talking about the fusion itself and how hard or easy it's going to be. So the festivities and everything that Raid is throwing at us right now, they are doing 2 free rewards. So if you're not logging into the game regularly, this is the time to log in and grab these rewards. This is the most generous they have ever given us. So 5 million server, a Lego book, 2 void charts, a multi-battles, and Sacred Prime. Yeah, you see it on the screen. So log in over the next few days. You're going to get these rewards. That's not everything. They have another reward for you. And I'll create a separate video talking about like my raid recap for the past 4 years. But yeah, that would be a separate video that we'll have fun with. But if you do this, if you just click share, even if you don't actually share it in like on social platforms, you will get another primal shard and 3 soul stones. So amazing rewards. Raid is usually criticized for giving us like an underpar, like underwhelming gifts for their anniversary and stuff. This year they've done it right, so kudos for them for that. Now let's talk about the fusion plan and what's happening there. So yeah, what I will do, so this is the fusion plan. First things to note there is that we have 3 artifact enhancement events. That's lots of silver. I don't even have it on my main account. Hopefully I can farm some while doing dungeon divers and all of that. So this one is going to be hard. If you haven't saved enough gems, and in this video based on one of my subscribers to my Discord request, I will just state while talking about the fusion plan what resources you will need for each section. So this one is going to be much harder. They are mixing and matching. It's not always this hard. It's not always these events, but what we have for Armanz, because he's really that good, we have 3 artifact enhancement event and we have 3 dungeon divers event. This means lots of silver and lots of energy. So if you don't have enough refills or enough gems saved, you won't be able to do this fusion. Summon Rush, like surprisingly, and I'm seeing a trend toward this since the start of 2024. Last year we usually struggled with shards, but if you're hitting Ultra Nightmare consistently every day, and Nightmare of course and Brutal, you won't, and you're saving your shards, you won't suffer from shards. You suffer from energy in this year's fusions at least. Yeah, so we have 4 copies of the same epic, void epic, so you make sure you have enough potions to ascend them to level 50, like to level 5 star basically, so you can fuse them into Armanz. You're going to do 3 artifact enhancement events, so make sure you have lots of servers. Like I said, in a second I'll talk about specific requirements for each of these events. Let me show you something I like. How Nob Raids states like walk through the fusion with color coding and everything. So what I will do, I will link 2 videos in this video. So of course, if you're not sub to my channel, please sub to my channel. Yeah, that will help me a lot. If you're not subscribed to Nob Raids and Cold Brew, I link their videos in the description below. So please go and give him a sub, because like some of the resources I'm showing you today as part of tips for the fusion is going to be theirs. So yeah, so for example, this color coding, that's basically telling you when you should do every event. So the fusion started today. Today is March 7th. Today what you should be doing is champ training. So you have today and tomorrow to finish your champ training. And we'll see what the points is, talking about the points and what's being required here. So this champ training is almost like, let's call it 8k points. 8k points. I have my champ training calculator always linked in the description below, so check this out. That will tell you how many brews, how much energy you will need to tackle this. So 8k is a little bit high. Usually the tournament is lower than this, but I think that would require like at least 4 or 5k energy for you to get it. Also, there are dedicated videos from like Hell Hades, myself, and other content creators on how to tackle the champ training efficiently, using brews, pumping like some brews into each champ before feeding them and all of that stuff. Not a topic for this video, but definitely go check some of these videos, mine and other content creators. So today and tomorrow you should finish your champ training. What does that mean? If you didn't get 4K points today, that means that you're falling a little bit behind. So 4K points from champ training today, 4K points tomorrow. Why? Because come Saturday, and that was going to be a tough, like not tough, but like a tight window there. Dragon will be ending Saturday. Forget about Sunday, depending on time zone and stuff. You won't catch it on Sunday, so you'll be doing all of your dragon farming on Saturday. Saturday, you need to do your dragon farming to get more points for Dungeon Diver. Dungeon Diver will start Saturday, and usually we struggle a lot with those Dungeon Divers event. How many points and energy we'll need for dragon? So let's check that. It's 22, like 2250, 2250 points to get the fragments from there. Usually it's depending on which level you're farming, whether it's level 13, 17. 13 is a little bit lower, so 17, 20, 25 or hard, whatever you'd like there. It's almost 1 energy per point, roughly. So there are more videos talking about this in more detail, but the thing is that you need like probably over 2000 energy to get those points. Someone correct me in the comments below. I think we're getting around, if you're in game and you're getting energy from everywhere, you're getting around 1500 energy daily in the game. So that means that you'll need to start using your refills and stuff for another at least 500 energy. Because, back to the plan, you'll have to finish all of your dragon on Saturday. So 2000 energy on Saturday, finish with dragon, so you had champion, training, and dragon done at this point. Classic arena usually is not an issue if you're gold 1, 5 or whatever. Just use your tokens, choose the right fights, and you'll just get the points there. Tomorrow we have summon rush for some good revivers, so that's straightforward shards. How many shards you need for this, we're not sure. So those 25s, so here's a catch, and that's why this fusion is going to be a little bit harder. They are doing a hero's path towards the end, like Monday the 18th, and this hero's path will have an additional 50 fragments. But if you don't want these, and this is going to be straightforward shards and soul stones, so just your credit card, basically. Yeah. If you don't want these 50, you need to get all fragments from all of these. So the possibilities that they've given you before for summon rush and champ chase to get just like the first, if they are dividing them like this is 25, if they're dividing them like let's say 10 and 15, usually if they're giving us enough fragments in the top section, you only needed the first 10 and you could save some shards or whatever for the next event. You won't be able to do that. So how many shards are required to tackle this, like the both summon shard events? Of course, for champ chase, you can use your green shards, you can fuse some relic keepers and broadmost, 250 points for relic keeper only for champ chase. So that would be the second one. For the first one, it's around, I would say, 7 sacreds to get the 25 fragments. That's from previous fusions. We'll know for sure when it starts tomorrow. So if you don't have, like let's say 7 sacreds here, I'm trying to estimate here, so don't hold me to these numbers. 10 sacred shards are what's needed for both events, and you'll have to fuse the epics. Keep your epics, don't fuse them till the champ chase, because if you're up to date on everything, you'll have 3 epics, so that's 700 and oh no, that's actually over 1000 points, because it's 350 points per each void epic, and they will spike the points for it. Don't worry about that. So thing is that champ chase, you'll need at least 3 sacreds. You need 7 sacreds for summon rush. How many ancients is that? Ancients are around 100 a piece. So if we talk about 3000 points more or less, and yeah, I'm not sure, we'll know by tomorrow, that's like what, 30 ancients. What I would say, to make sure you tackle this fusion, you'll need to have at least like 10 sacreds, 50 ancients, 20 voids, all of these, okay? Or you need to have like 5k green shards that you're going to use in the champ training, champ chase event, so you can pump. Actually, these are coinciding, so that's a good time, if you have the time and the energy, to use your green shards to tackle both of these events. So let's say champ chase, you use your green shards and you use relic keepers, broadmost, previous fragment fusions, those 3 epics. So let's assume if you're playing the game right and saving everything, you won't need any shards for champ chase. Then you need just 7 sacred, 7 sacreds, 50 ancient, something in that range to tackle the summon rush. So that's the first checkpoint, whether you have the resources or not. Resources wise, so let's say dragon, and again I'm throwing just number there, these are estimates. Let's say that you'll need 2500 energy to tackle each of the dungeon events. Okay, so we got the calculator. Let's say that we get 1500 energy per day and the fusion is over 2 weeks. So you already get like 21k energy in those 2 weeks. Not exact math, just estimates. I keep repeating this so nobody would hold me to it. Yeah. For the events, we have 4 dungeon events. So that's like probably around 10k energy. Like 2 champ training events, let's say you'll need at least 5k energy for each. So you're already at 20k. So far you haven't spent anything yet, save gems or refills. Okay. This is my estimate. I just did the calculation because it was too complex to try and do it while I'm recording and talking to you. So my estimate is that you will need at least 7 refills per day. So those are like 300 gems or 7 refills per day. That's around 1000 energy per day extra to what the game is giving you to tackle all events, to be up to date to all events. If you don't have all of these saved, of course you'll have to use your gems. So if you don't have 7 refills multiplied by the 14 days, which is the duration of the fusion, you'll need to dig into your gems. So that might be, I don't know, depending on how much you're lacking, 1000, 2000 gems. If you have 5000 gems saved and some saved refills from the previous like days and whatever, you should be okay. But you need to be up to date, which brings us to the second good thing that Cold Bro shared with us, is that he uploaded just like a very simple fusion tracker there. So what you need to do, you see here, this is a true or false check. I'll tell you how this works, and again the link is going to be in Cold Bro's video in the description below. He just like put all of the events in an Excel sheet with a true and false cell here. And if you see here, what you care about, yeah, it's visible on the screen, is that yellow box here. So that says 0. Whenever you finish an event, you flip it from false to true. And then you see here, I've got, oh, actually, let me do this one. Yeah. So now I have 25 fragments here. So that's the thing. Hero's Path, I think it only works on that top one if there's multiple cells. Yep. So here, like this is Hero's Path. Probably he's assuming that we have 2 halves, like the Hero's Path is going to be 2 brackets of shards here. But whatever you flip to true when you finish events, it will tell you how much you need. You need 400 in total. So if this number, like while you're tracking the events, you have to make sure that each of these are marked true. Let's say that you won't do the Hero's Path. That means that all of these needs to be true before their time ends. So if you are on Monday and this one is not true for you, that means you just missed the fusion. Don't bother unless you're willing to pay and buy more on the Hero's Path or whatever. So if you want to use this Excel sheet, it's very easy. Just flip things to true and figure out how many fragments you have. That will help you plan for the fusion. Now let's go back and talk about how this will go forward. So we already said that champ training today and tomorrow, dungeon divers and dragon Saturday and Sunday, so you can tackle these. Artifact enhancement, you get the silver, you upgrade stuff and you get your points there. Summon rush, the shards, we talked about how many shards you will need. Classic arenas is easy. Ice Golem is also coinciding, so probably a good time to do Ice Golem. You can stop your dungeon farming and continue it, like finish your dungeon divers on Monday with Ice Golem when Ice Golem starts. You'll have Tuesday as well. Usually Tuesday is sort of a dead day, so you just have artifact enhancement starting here. Silver, you do it and that's it. So Tuesday, save your energy as much as possible without wasting it and prepare for Wednesday when the second dungeon divers start. So there's nothing else starting on Wednesday. You'll use all of your daily energy in dungeon divers. It doesn't matter which dungeon, nothing else is coinciding with it. Thursday, it coincides with Fire Knight and champ training. But because dungeon diver and Fire Knight started first, and that's why you see the solid green line here, you farm Fire Knight on Thursday to get some points for dungeon divers. If you're done with Fire Knight on like Thursday and Friday, however, whatever you want to do first, you need to start doing champ training as well. You might want to wait till Friday to start champ training because what I've been telling you before, champ chase, you want to do it without any shards, it's coinciding with champ training. Come Friday morning, open all of your green shards, feed them to each other, bruise and all of that stuff, assuming you have the resources saved. That takes silver as well, by the way. So you'll get a bunch of points for champ training while getting points for champ chase as well. Artifact enhancement, same thing. Spider with dungeon diver 3. So if you have lots of energy or gems saved, Dungeon Divers and Spider are going to be the easiest because Spider is the fastest run if you have a proper team for it. And you can get lots of points for Dungeon Diver as well. So this is just like Monday and Tuesday. Basically, if you're at this point, you got all the fragments and you're good. Summary of everything we said so far. What you will need. You will need around 5k gems or 7 refills per day on top of all the energy you're getting daily to tackle all the fusion. This is an estimate there. You'll need around 7 sacreds, 50 ancients or 20 voids to do summon rush, assuming you'll do champ chase with relic keepers, broadmoors, previous fragment fusions and green shards so you can dip into the champ training as well. So this is the energy requirement, this is the shard requirement for this specific fusion. Now it's different from fusion to fusion because some of these fusions are like don't have only 2 dungeon divers or 2 artifact enhancements or whatever. For artifact enhancement, if you don't have the silver saved yet, probably this is the last thing we didn't talk about. Each artifact enhancement, depending on your luck and upgrading gear and everything, is around 15 million silver. So 3 of those are 45 million silver. Don't panic, you don't need all of these at the beginning because you'll get a lot of them while doing champ training and dungeon divers as well. Just sell all the bad gear after upgrading it to level 8 or whatever to get some points if it's inside the artifact enhancement event. If not, just sell bad gear, keep the good one. You can forge some, sell and upgrade the good ones as well. So 45 million silver if you don't want to do any farming, but probably at least, so my estimate is that you'll get at least half of this amount of silver while farming the other events. So basically you only need 25 saved. If you don't have 25, start getting some while doing the other events as well. Exceptional scenario. What if you have, I've shown you like I haven't opened my soul stones yet because I'm waiting for something bigger to happen. If you don't have enough resources to tackle the fusion, but you have lots of soul stones saved and we have no idea how many. This hero's pass, we don't know yet. But if you want to depend on being able to grab, let's say, not all of it, but half of the points here, I don't think those 50 are going to be a single chunk. So let's say you have lots of soul stones and a couple of sacreds or whatever that you're getting from clan boss daily. So you can skip one of these events, whatever is hardest for you, let's say Dungeon Diver 2 or 1 or whatever, and depend on you getting 25 fragments from Hero's Path. What is the risk? This is all the way towards the end. If you skipped an early event and you couldn't get what you planned to get with the soul stones, you just lost the fusion and it's really a good one. Last thing I want to say, and that's why everybody's releasing those fusion plans and requirements resource wise, is that plan for it properly. If you cannot tackle it all, don't stress yourself. You don't need to stay up till 2 a.m. to make sure you farm the dungeon. If you don't have enough resources, just relax and skip it. He's really good, but there is no must-have in this game. Something else will come up. If you have the resources, definitely this is the one to go for. Thank you for tuning in today. I'll see you in the next one.